Hey guys, hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far. Here's another edition of what's happening in the PSEi and the market as a whole. As we start to break down, as we start to talk about where's the direction of the market headed. Are we about to see a reversal? Or is the market still gonna drop? Or are there any signs or hints that there are clues that it could now start to bounce back up? Or are the clues pointing that we might see it go down even further? But for this video, I wanted to also not just talk about the market in general, but I'm adding 5 stocks that you guys requested over stocks by request. So if you are new to this Facebook page or this YouTube channel, feel free, just like or subscribe so you get updated. What I normally do is I give stocks by request, and I give analysis of different stocks and the market in general, with the hope, with the goal for you guys to invest in stocks more, and you guys use the stock market to reach your goals of financial freedom. Because I really believe that it's time that we as Filipinos utilize the stock market well, and we just use it and take advantage of it and earn money from it. Alright, so quick update on my events. I'll be in South Korea this April 22. Then after South Korea, it will be Singapore May 2 to 6. Then after that, Icon 2018, the largest investment conference in the Philippines, where the heart and soul of it is just to really give you a plethora of knowledge that you can use to run your business and invest, not just in the stock market but in different investments as well. That's May 26. Then after that, I'm going to Melbourne, Australia for Stock Smarts Melbourne. Then after that, Stock Smarts Manila. Then Stock Smarts Qatar this July naman. So that's it. It's a pretty busy next few months, but it's pretty exciting. So I hope to see you there, and I hope that we just change the way Filipinos trade and invest the markets. Alright, so now let's break down the index. Alright, for the day, the market closed at 8,043. With that though, it was up 1.25%. However, to add context to all of it, the value turnover for that was just at 5 billion. So it's not so bad, but not so good as well. Please remember this, and I've said this in different videos over and over. For us to see something relatively reliable in terms of how markets would move, volume must be pretty much strong. It should be strong to show us conviction. It should be strong to show us that there's really a large participation of investors believing that that price is something worth buying and coming into. So now that the trend is still pretty much intact, that it's still bearish. Let me show you and let me point out to you using this chart. You have to remember that everything we talk about is under the lens of technical analysis. So here's what the PSEi looks like as of now. So if you can see here, you have the downward motion of the market still pretty much intact. So the downtrend started, if you look at this, you have a cross of the MACD at the end of January, pointing to the reversal of the market. So for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, that's a very, very good indication already of reversals. That could have been a sell signal and a take profit point. So since that point in time, you now saw the market start to reverse and go down, and you see the cross here, the below zero cross for our MACD, causing and saying that the market is relatively that it has transitioned from a bullish to bearish market, which it's also confirmed by this moving average. This is a very, very strong moving average. The breakdown from this denotes a strong change and a strong reversal of the trend. From bullish, the market has moved to bearish. So now you have a lot of signals now showing you that the market has gone down. Number 1 is this. Number 2 is this. Number 3 is the breakdown from all of these moving averages, as confirmed by the downtrend that you're seeing now, then as confirmed also by the strong 200-day moving average breakdown. Plus you have this cross as well, which is pretty much a very, 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 very strong intonation of moving average movement. Then if you zoom in further, we all know that the market was up today. However, it needs I really believe that it must break past 8,100 for it to have a chance, it to have a shot to actually move higher. If not, you can just expect it to move sideways. Please take note for the short term, the market, since March, since around this area of March, has been moving in a sideways direction. It's been consolidating already. I still believe that there's a very, very strong support at around 7,700, that if you want to expect the market to move, to bounce back, it must retrace around 7.7. But as of this point in time, it's forming a short-term support around this area, although all of the moving averages are still bearish, although you still have this trend line preventing the market to move higher. So a couple of things to watch out for. If you really want the market to go up, it must break out of 8.1. One positive sign that we're seeing though is just this. You have this reversal brought about by the MACD, but is it strong enough to change the direction? This is just showing us that there's a change in direction for the short term, and the change in direction was it moved from this to this, but the underlying and overall trend is still bearish for the stock. So that's it from the PSEi, from a PSEi perspective. So especially if you are trying to analyze it, and you're trying to analyze it from what's happening in the broad market, the PSEi is a good benchmark for you to consider. And a lot of the stocks that we have been following the PSEi as a whole in terms of how it's been moving. So the movement of the PSEi will reflect and can reflect the general market sentiment as per specific stocks. So there. So please remember this. 7.7 is the support, 8.1 is the resistance. Breakout from 8.1, it will go and try to challenge the large moving average at around 8.260, 8.270. If it goes to 7.7, it becomes a relatively cheaper market. But if 7.7 does not hold, I've said this even in Bloomberg, that it could drop to around 7,400 over the short term as well. Alright, so after we talk about the index, I want to analyze also a couple of the stocks that you've requested over stocks by request. This is not our normal stocks by request, but this is something that is ad hoc, above and beyond what you guys are requested. I normally just post 10 stocks a week, but extra time, free time that I get to share. You have to understand, this is also my passion. For me, one of the things that I love to do is not just trade and invest the market, but also share ideas like this, because at the end of the day, it's not just about us earning money, but it's also about us creating a lasting significant impression for the next generation of Filipinos. And for me, I think this is something that I can give. This is something I can help other Filipinos with as well. So while the market was dropping, there's one stock that has been quiet, but it's been quietly moving. I don't know if people have noticed this, but I love investing in this stock as a long-term investor, but from a trading perspective, it made some significant strides since March this year. And while the market was dropping also last March, the stock has been steadily going up. I'm talking about Vista Land. So Vista Land today closed up. It closed 2 days straight large candles, but the movement of Vista Land also is pretty much brought about by the bounce from the 6 peso support range. I repeat, the movement that we're seeing now for Vista Land is pretty much brought about by the bounce from the 6 peso range. So let me show you the chart now. So you will see it here. This is the bounce from the 6 peso range, and it's also a very, very strong moving average, as also confirmed by this. So for those who followed the buy signals for Vista Land, you have one here, the zero line cross, and you also have the crossover here, plus this, which is a very, very strong support range, and which is also the support from the channel for Vista Land. So there was a good buy signal here. Then you have a breakout also from this perspective. So you have this, and this, showing you that the stock is relatively bullish. So now it's headed towards this resistance point. So for quick traders, let me try to break this down first. For position traders, you all know that the stock is bullish still. So what does that mean? If the stock is bullish, there's no sell signal for the stock. You can just hold on to it until we see a particular reversal for the stock. So I'm saying this from a position trading standpoint. For position traders, no sell signal yet for Vista Land. However, for quick traders, if it fails to break out of 7 at this point in time, you can take profits. But if it breaks out even further, I think the next resistance or next target price will be at around 8 pesos per share. So breakout from 7, target price is 8, fails to break out of 7, target price, you may take profits because it might retrace down even further. So that's it for Vista Land. It's a good stock for investing, but at this point in time, it's also a good stock for trading. The bounce was at 6, target is at 7, failure to break out of 7, take profits. Breaks out of 7, your target price will be 8. So MACD and moving averages are supporting the upward move that you are actually seeing for Vista Land as of this point in time. So let me point out to you a couple of the other stocks that have been requested. Jollibee, if you've been following the videos that I've created over the past few days, from a precision trading perspective, I mentioned that Jollibee was still on a long-term uptrend. So position traders, there's no sell signal yet for Jollibee. However, the stock has been ranging. The stock has been sideways, and because of the issue for the contractualization or regularization of people from employees from Jollibee, the one issued by Dole, the stock started to retrace last week. However, you know what's interesting about technicals is you don't have to look at the news. Everything you know is found in the charts, and from the previous videos, I've mentioned that there's a support at around 275. I've also mentioned that as it hit 275, it becomes a buy signal for everyone. And for those who've attended our Stock Smart sessions, go back to our trading plan for RSI movements. You will see that it's pretty much a great context for Jollibee. So I'll show you the chart for Jollibee and its sideways range, but the whole trading technique that we will have right now is this: if it fails to break out of 300, you can take profits again, because if you look at Jollibee, it's pretty much consistent that over here 275 buy, sell here. After this point in time last week, because of the bad news, because of the Dole contractualization issue, it hit and went back to the support range. So you can start to buy here and you can take profits at 300. So two things can happen for Jollibee. Number one, either it fails to break out from 300. So if you are a quick trader, the failure for it to break out of 300 is now your take profits point. But should it break out from 300, it will further progress the movement upward. So now our target price for this, if it breaks out of 300, and the condition is it doesn't just break out of 300, it has to stay above 300, our target price will be 325 pesos per share. That's the channel for those who attended our breakout sessions about support and resistance. You know the computation for this, on how you can actually find the specific target price for the stock as well, or the specific target price for stocks that break out and then there's no significant resistances anymore. So that's it for Jollibee. I've talked about the index, I've talked about Vista Land, and I've talked about Jollibee. I want to talk about another stock that you guys requested, because it's pretty much amazing. It's pretty much an amazing company. However, the trend also is not in its it's not following an upward progression. I'm talking about SM Prime Holdings. SM Prime has been in a downtrend since pretty much similar to the index at the start of the year. After hitting its peak close to 40, that's when you saw it start to consolidate at 39.5, 40, close to 40 levels, and then after that it failed to break out from that, and now you're seeing the downward push. The stock is up though today, but it needs to break out also of that downward push. So let me show this to you first. So you see the downward push for SM Prime that's over here. It needs to get out and escape this downtrend, which also is confirmed by the MACD. The MACD is pretty much bearish. MACD is bearish, the downtrend is over here, and you have the 200-day moving average denoting that it's pretty much bearish at this point in time. So if you, for position traders, I'm talking to you guys, if you're a position trader, a couple of things that you need to look out and watch out for is, number one, a breakout from this will denote that it's out of a downtrend. But if you want a full reversal, you want to see it above around 35.6 or around 36 pesos per share for it to be actually for it to actually have any semblance that it has already started to reverse. So similar to the PSEi, it started to consolidate already. It's forming a base since March already. It's been sideways for the short term for the past 2 to 3 weeks already. So if you are trying to see where the base is, that's a possible semblance to it already. Anywhere near 32.5, 32.8 is pretty much a strong support also for SM Prime Holdings. Alright, so lastly, I'll end it with one oil related stock and then one gaming stock. There's been a lot of talk for Bloom yesterday. Bloom dropped a significant amount, and because of that drop, it experienced a large movement today. The large movement today, though, is just pretty much a knee-jerk reaction from all of the selling that happened. What do I mean by that? You have to remember that there's a thing that's called oversold levels, and for those who attended our sessions now, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what specific item we're supposed to look at when markets drop like this. When stock hit oversold levels and it would bounce from the support and becomes a buy opportunity. So for people following Bloom, no, there's a support range at around this area. So the large downward movement of the stock just brought it, boom, failed to break out of 14. That's what I've mentioned also from the previous videos. If it fails to break out of 14, it was a sell signal already for those who were trying to trade it. Then it tried to hit 13.6 support level, which 1 and 2 it failed to hold. Then it started to retrace back to the 12.25 support as seen by this, showing you there's a good support level here. So with that and the bounce from the RSI, this is your buy signal. So for those who came in and started to buy the stock here, your target price is 13.6. So please remember this. Bloom bounced from 12.26 because there's a support there. Bloom bounced from 12.26 because also it's relatively oversold already, and RSI gave us a buy signal for the stock. So your target price is 13.6. If it fails to break out of 13.6, by all means take profits. But if it breaks out of 13.6, your next target price will be around 14.7, 14.8, which is relatively the strongest resistance as of this point in time. So let's see how it goes. But your goal is not to be emotional. If you're a trader, your goal is not to be emotionally attached to the stock, but your goal is to sell when the parameters are no longer working for you. Alright, lastly, I want to talk about PXP. This will be relatively short. PXP for the day was up short candle, so it's now approaching the resistance, our target price. Our resistance for PXP is at 18 pesos per share. Why am I saying this? As it approaches this resistance, be ready to take profits as well. You have to remember, this is a stock that's really not about this is not a fundamental play. This is all about speculation that's happening in the South China Sea. So if you look at this very closely, you will see that for PXP, there was a bounce from this support level. For those who started to buy and capture the stock at this level, congratulations to you. And it's now moving, it's now progressing. Your target price should be at around 18 pesos per share. So I repeat, buy at 11 for those who bought around this point. Congratulations, your target price is around 18 pesos per share for the stock as well. So if it goes to 18 and it fails to break out of 18 pesos per share, your goal now is to take profit. So I repeat, if the stock goes to 18 and it fails to break out already from that level, you may take profits already, especially if you're a quick trader. And that's a good 65% already. Nothing bad with 65%. I think 65% is a handsome profit, and it's something that can fund a lot of the things that you want to do. So here's the thing though, please take note of this. If it breaks out successfully from 18, your next target price for PXP will be at around 22 pesos per share. Not bad as well. So that's it. Again, please don't take what I say as the gospel truth. Please study the charts the way I analyze it as well. Make it as a reference point. Make it as a way for you to be able to study the markets as well. Because I really hope that you guys learn from the market. Because the reason why I do this is just really, it's just nice to share thoughts, and it's just really nice to be able to impart and to be able to create and forge more and more investors in the Philippines. Because at the end of the day, I really want to see more Filipinos prosper, and I really know that good people with the right mindset and with money can make a lot of difference to make this country great again. And I really believe this with all my heart, that the Philippines is great, that we are bound for greatness, that no matter what you see in the news, our destiny should not be defined by what you see in the headlines. It's time that you take control of your destiny. It's time that you take control also of the things that have been placed in front of you. It's time that there's no excuses anymore, that you just grab a hold of what's been placed in your heart and you run with it. So that's it for now. Hope to see you soon. Hope you guys are doing well, and God bless you. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Marvin Germo from Makati City. See you all again soon.